Maybe. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Battle Show here on the... Wow, my camera is already lagging massively. What the hell has happened? Right, this isn't a good start. Guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you, you're just very slow.
I'm very slow. This is a bad start. I know what's caused it. Currently in the background, I have been for the last 3 hours copying files of past Extreme Improv shows from one hard drive, finally backing them up onto another. As we speak, it is 83% complete. And let me see if it gives a timer on this. I better click this and it undoes it all. It has been going. Oh, it doesn't tell me the time, but it's been going. Time remaining 1 hour. And that's probably slowing me down. But it has been. Yeah, so exactly. So it's just hit 84, in fact. So if the remaining 16% is 1 hour, you can tell this is a lot of footage. Anyway, so.
You can pause it.
Oh, I don't want to pause it. I just want it done. Right. So, look, you don't need to see me moving in real time, guys. As long as the people can hear me, that's all that matters. But welcome to Geek Battle. We're going to be discussing a bunch of things today. But as always, hopefully I'll be working by the time this rolls.
Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone. We discuss comics and puny minds are blown. We debate.
Well, that didn't work at all, did it? Right, I guess we're back. One more try, and then I'm going to give up.
Welcome to the Geek Battle.
Screw this shit. Right, we're just going to get into the show. So, as long as we can be heard, we don't need intro credits. Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone.
We discuss comics and Cap's mind is blown.
Yeah, exactly. So, the thing.
FBC.
Yeah, X-Men and Ron Weasley. I should know these lyrics now. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna get on the show. Capelthave, say hello to the people.
Hail from the land of leopards, elephants, and crocodiles. It's me, Capelthave. And my geek fact for today is that I am really pushing and trying to get David watch an anime called Bungo Stray Dogs. And another reason that I'm going to give is because that anime has, you know, like in superpower animes, in cartoons, you have, he has super strength, he has telepathy. But in this anime, they actually give names to individual powers. And it's really cool. Like, you got crime and punishment, which is the power of a superpower. And the other called Thou Shalt Not Die, and the other one's called No Longer Human, and there's Dopo Poet, and my favorite one, Beast Beneath the Moonlight. These are all superpowers, and the coolest thing is, these are all book titles, and the characters who have these powers actually named after those authors who wrote the book. So it kind of reflects their personality and the book as well. It's one of the best character-driven animes that I've seen so far, and it's a superhero show. It's basically X-Men, but with mafia and crime, detective agencies, government conspiracy, stuff like that. It's really good. I really enjoy it.
Okay, well that's it sounds good. But you say like they've given individual names to the powers. Doesn't Superman like have X-ray vision and stuff? That's got a name.
Yeah, but they are lame names. I mean, you can call super strength, but instead of calling the one that shall not be bowed down by rain, doesn't that sound even cooler? And they add depth. Yeah.
So what you're suggesting, Cap, is if I had superpowers that I could make my body like a ghost shape and I had magical chains, my powers would be called Christmas Carol and my character name would be Dickens.
Yes.
There we go. Oh, Dickens. Oh, Dickens.
What the Dickens? Right. Love it.
I haven't actually come across Dickens yet. Usually, like, famous authors are in there. Like, All Men Are Created Equal. That's a book from the Constitution. He's a character. And Beast Beneath the Moonlight is actually a famous book about a book called literally Beast Beneath the Moonlight. And there's also Dracula, and the character is Bram.
Okay. Well, no, it sounds cool. I will try to check it. Now, I am going to disappear for a second, but I can still hear you. I'm just trying to remove myself and re-add myself. But during this time, Dave, say hello to the people.
Well, hello to the people. My name is Dave MC here in Paris, France. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. So my geek fact for this week is that, so we know we have a lot of Doctor Who light episodes in the new series, but in the old series, in 1965, there was Mission to the Unknown, which is the only episode in Doctor Who's history that doesn't feature the Doctor at all.
Okay, so which Doctor was this? The first?
So this was William Hartnell, the first Doctor. Yes, the first Doctor. BBC Mission to the Unknown. It was so it was part of a Dalek-centric story. It was a 12-part story if you count Mission to the Unknown as well. And it was Mission to the Unknown, was about the Daleks like gathering these other species together to create a super weapon.
Yeah, it sounds good. Now, I think, is the backstory because he was quite ill at the time?
I don't think so. I'm not sure if he was unwell at that point, or whether they'd taken notice of it at that point.
Yeah, because like from what I remember, there was like where they featured him less, and then they decided, well, this isn't going to work, so that's why they invented regeneration just to replace the actor. What are you doing, Dave?
I'm reading. I'm looking to see if there's any fact.
Okay, I think you were speaking in tongues. I was like, oh my god! Like,
I'm summoning demons now. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm practicing my demon summoning.
Hey, special ability, summon Doctor Who.
I call myself TARDIS.
Yeah. Okay. Now, just whilst you're checking that, Dev, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Right. So moving on with the show, coming back to Doctor Who. The thing that I want to mention is Russell T Davies has said in a news report in the last couple of days that there is nothing happening in the world of Doctor Who currently. There is there is nothing happening. So what's your reaction to that, guys? It feels like this is the end.
They'll go quiet for a while and probably start back up.
But the thing is that it's gone quiet after they've basically shit on everything. You know what I mean? It's like they literally have got like just shit on everything in regards to Doctor Who. Like they butchered Omega, who was one of the coolest of Time Lords from like the classic series. They turned him into some sort of weird mummy fetus baby looking thing. No, literally, he looked like some sort of weird mummified baby, but that's not what Omega, quote unquote, looks like. Yeah. They made Sutek look terrible as well. And he looked like a giant rat,
a CGI rat.
And I don't know. It's just my feelings on it are it should have died with Capaldi. It still is. It should have died with Capaldi.
Yeah. And you know what? Like the crazy thing is, it could have done, because logically, they should have never introduced John. Like nothing against John Hurt as the War Doctor. That Doctor didn't exist, so the numbering wouldn't have been off. Capaldi would have been the 12th. That would have been the end. He'd have been the last regeneration.
Yeah, because you could have had Paul McGann's the 8th Doctor being the Time War, or Christopher Eccleston's Doctor being the Time War. You know, it could have been either or. Yeah.
But they did something that Eccleston wouldn't ever come back. And the reason behind it, according to this, just looking up this story here.
Isn't he back now?
Sorry?
Isn't he back now?
Yeah, he's back for Big Finish.
But he won't come back for the TV show. He says not as long as, but he might. Who knows? He might be willing to now, because this is the headline which I was saying about. He doesn't think the show will be considered one of his greatest hits. This wasn't the headline I thought I clicked on. Doctor Who will not define my legacy. Right? It's just like, yes, it will. It is 99% of the reason why anyone knows who you are at all. Because it says here, I've never heard of Cucumber. Obviously, he was famous for Queer as Folk, and he did do that thing with Christopher Eccleston, which led to him being in Doctor Who. but I can't even Second Coming or whatever. But people only remember any of these shows. Oh, because that's the guy that did Doctor Who.
Who's this?
Absolutely could be his entire legacy.
Wait, which actor is this?
No, it's not the actor. Russell T Davies, the showrunner.
Hmm.
The showrunner who brought Doctor Who back in 2005 doesn't think that Doctor Who will be the thing that defines him. Right? Ncuti Gatwa may have quit after like 15 episodes. That is all he is going to be known as for the rest of time. Right? Billie Piper will have always been known as Rose Tyler, but because she had 3 words, oh hello, or 2 words, as the Doctor, she will forever just be known as, oh yeah, she was the 16th Doctor. Right? That's all that. As soon as you play this role, that is your legacy.
The only person I know the only actual Doctor that it hasn't happened to is probably Capaldi. To this day, people know Capaldi more for Malcolm than the Doctor.
Fair. That is fair. That is fair. But I think it will depend very much who you speak to, right? So many people. But he was in the Paddington Bear movie, right, as like the next door neighbor or something. And probably go on, Cap.
I would say it depends on what is will they be known for anything more famous than that?
No.
If they will, like let's say Ncuti Gatwa does Doctor Who and it does go and make Men in Black and it turns out really good, then the Men in Black legacy will carry on more than the Doctor Who.
That isn't an actual thing, is it, Cap?
No, just we made a joke earlier about it. So
okay.
I found the answer.
Go on.
I found the answer. So the reason William Hartnell was not in that episode, Mission to the Unknown, because William Hartnell was contracted to do a certain number of episodes for that season. So Mission to the Unknown was one of those episodes that he was not contracted to be a part of, even though he is credited in the end.
Yeah. So that makes it. Do you know what? I'm trying to think. There's episodes of Doctor Who, like I think after they killed Clara, and then there was like an episode or 2 after. It still came.
Clara's still alive somewhere.
Yeah, but after they killed her, it then came up Jenna Coleman, even though she wasn't in the episodes. So that's kind of typical for them to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys,
Now, before we move on, I might as well just address Cap. Yes, I do know.
There's hope.
Okay, so what I can tell you about Doctor Who is Disney doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Another company does.
What, Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been that. Is this the rumor that they want it to be more like Stranger Things?
No, they want Russell T Davies out and Stephen Moffat in, and apparently Moffat pitched an idea of an anthology series where each episode follows a different Doctor.
I would love that. I've been calling for something like that for years. Like, they should literally do that. Like, okay, so let's just dig into that idea a second. Okay. It has bugged me for so many years that Paul McGann in particular, it's like, guys, he would do it. It's like, why even if you're not showing them on TV, just get a little pot of money, film these, release them on DVD, put them out as specials or whatever, because it's not like they won't be able to be sold in the future over and over again. No one cares, but no one can watch that. No one can watch that.
It's Big Finish.
Yeah, but no one can watch that. So, what you do is you do, like they've been doing these 12, 13 episode seasons. Just do it for the next 3 years, where you get some story which is interconnected. Kind of like, as much as I wasn't the biggest fan of it, like What If on like the Marvel show What If, where there's all these random episodes, but then there's some way where they all have a connection in the end. Do something where that you've got the 8th Doctor, the 9th Doctor, etc., etc. Even the 5th Doctor, is probably not going to happen. I don't know what. That's just Big Finish. I get your point, but no one cares. Nobody cares.
I do. There are some people that might be listening that actually like Big Finish, David.
Yes, but they can't watch them, right?
You don't need to watch them.
Doctor Who is a visual media. Right, so anyway, I appreciate that they exist, but you can't watch them, you can't even listen to them as a complete replacement for an episode, because they're presented in a different way, right? So they've got storytelling, they've got narration elements, right? So anyway, yeah, they do.
Not these ones. They're actually audio adventures. They're like episodic.
No, I'm not saying.
But they're not
saying,
They're not going. And then the Doctor stepped out of the TARDIS.
I know.
He opened the door, and then there was a deep and passionate kiss somewhere. You know?
I know it's not presented like a book, but it isn't just like listening to an episode, because they have to paint the world with world-building dialogue, and it doesn't feel like.
But the thing is,
imagine
David,
if you're watching the show.
You paint the picture in your imagination.
But imagine this. Imagine you watch the show and Tom Baker just walked into the room and he's like, "What is this alien that I see before me with 2 tentacles and a large eye? Its mouth is coming towards me." It's just like that. That wouldn't happen. It's not the same, is my point.
No, but with that, so in that situation, they'll be using an existing monster from Doctor Who, and they'll say the name, and you'll know what it looks like.
Well, that's just bad storytelling. You should never assume that people have prior knowledge. Everything should stand on its
making
own.
all the excuses as possible not to listen to an audio drama.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that I can't watch any other stuff from Doctor Who from now on because I already have existing knowledge of a lot of other things.
No. Anyway, so the point is, right, like how they got David Bradley playing the first Doctor, and in Adventures in Space and Time, they had like one scene where the guy from Inside Number 9 played Patrick Troughton. It's like, and yeah, pay a lot of money, convince Sean Pertwee to play his dad for this one-off thing, right? I know he won't, but just do it. And that way, and look, imagine Tom Baker, they get him to just do something, right? Where he's 90 odd years old. He's not going to do it. But technically, you could have all the Doctors. You could have all of the Doctors represented. Imagine that as an epic season.
Yeah. No, I can see where you're coming from. I can see where you're coming from on that point. And they were saying anyway they were going to do, like, Russell had this massive, like, super plan of building the world of Doctor Who again, like having like what Torchwood was, have a unit series, have the Doctor Who series that runs away from it, but have stuff that takes place on Earth. So like he did when Russell was running the show in the first place, he had Torchwood, he had the Sarah Jane Adventures as well. So the world was still being built.
Yes.
But now I feel like now that Russell has said that there's not much happening with Doctor Who, I think all of that has just gone out the window because like completely. Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's because what is that? They've got that. What is that series that they've already made? When is that coming on? What, Unit? No, well, it's the Unit 1. What is that? It's like the Sea Devil series. Oh yeah, the Battle of
Battle Earth and Sea or something.
Land and Sea, I think.
And Sea. When is that even coming on?
No one knows and no one cares.
Okay, so the war between land and sea. It will consist of 5, and it's expected to be released in 2025. 5 episodes. It's going to drop on like BBC iPlayer or something, and it's going to drop all at once, and it's going to come on in November on a Sunday, and we'll be like on Geek Battle, and we'll be like, "Oh, when's that show coming out?" And it'll be like, "Oh, it came out 3 months ago," and no one will have watched it. It's a real shame. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'd be all in favor. Like Stephen Moffat, the unfortunate thing with him is, in my opinion, in the new era of Doctor Who, he wrote the best stuff. When he was the showrunner, it was good, but it got a bit hard to follow at times. The thing which I'd say about Russell T Davies's first run compared to Stephen Moffat's run that was better was that the episodes were simpler. The storytelling was simpler. There'd be a monster, it would repeat a phrase, you'd know it was the bad guy, and something would happen. But suddenly, especially by the time we get to later Matt Smith and throughout Capaldi, there was like lots of little stories, and it wasn't just like, here's a big monster to deal with this week. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. So I think we're still on introductions. No, we're not. Right, now.
We haven't introduced Deb yet.
Yeah, we have. Like I said, say hello. He chose not to. He didn't take.
Wait,
He didn't take. The
I
ball and run
didn't
with
even
it.
hear you say hello.
He didn't take the ball and run with it. Right.
Wait, I was meant to say hello. Wait, hold on. Let me do it properly then. Hello, everyone. My geek fact of the week is, the guy who's going to play Ken, Noah Centineo, in
Barbie.
In the new Street Fighter movie next year, has been cast as Rambo, young Rambo.
Wow.
Why do we need a young Rambo? We're just going to see Rambo in high school, just going through the school with a knife and his face paint on the whole time. He's just in a locker waiting for the teacher to come through.
I need to make a very dark joke right now.
he's just in high school. You haven't done your math homework today. Just Rambo in the corner.
That's a little bit too dark. That's a little bit too dark.
Imagine if the teacher's like, answer the question. My name is John Rambo 365.
Yeah, it's just like it'd be like the end of school. It's like, you got an F on your math homework. He's just waiting, like gorilla style, under the desk. He's just waiting for the teacher to like come back in the room. He's just holding it. Give me an A on my math homework.
Okay, so look, this guy's name, what is it? Noah
Centineo.
Right. Okay. He is 29. How old was he? That isn't young Rambo. That is probably older than Stallone was when he played Rambo. So First Blood.
No.
How old was
Stallone was a lot older when he played Rambo.
Okay, so that came out in 1982. So who's good at maths? He was born in 1946, so 56, 66. So, okay, so he's about like 5-6 years younger than Stallone was.
He's about
34. So unless it's just going to be showing him like was it Vietnam?
Yeah, I think Vietnam.
So that's the story you could do. Show what happened to him that sent him into where he was.
Yeah.
But, so what is this going to be called? Is it, if it can't be First Blood, it's going to be like Pre-Blood?
Young Blood?
Young Blood?
Pre-blood.
No Blood? Before Blood?
Half pint of blood.
Rambo.
He's younger, so he is a half pint. It would be half pint of blood.
Because the Rambo series is one of those series that's already got messed up like titles. Because it goes from First Blood to Rambo First Blood Part 2 to Rambo 3 to John Rambo, or just Rambo, I think they called it in the end. Yeah. And then Rambo Last Blood. And now this will be Rambo
Bone Marrow.
Blood. Yeah, Bone Marrow.
No blood.
Yeah. A children's show, Rambo, No Blood.
That's what I mean. Make Rambo a high school drama. Just him, like they could have done it. Just a thought popped in my head, like an Indiana Jones style thing, where he's got to get his math homework and get like the scene in Boss Baby, just a paper clip in an envelope, just trying to get I've got to change my math homework over.
Oh my god! Shouldn't it be okay? It's like the end of the film. Rambo's in high school, and he finally gets the girl, and she's like, "Don't come near me, John." He's like, "What's the matter?" She's like, "I've just got my period." He's like, "First Blood." Right.
But wasn't there a WWE cartoon called Camp where it depicted wrestlers?
Yeah, Camp WWE.
Yeah. They kind of did what you did, David. Like most of the jokes. Like,
was it really? Wasn't that like written or directed or whatever by Seth Green?
Yeah,
could be. Considering the jokes, it does sound a lot like Robot Chicken, and Stone Cold basically annoys Mr. McMahon, the camp director.
I'm meeting him next week.
What's next week?
Seth Green is going to be at a convention next week.
Oh, okay, you're meeting Seth Green.
Yep.
Ask him, did he do Camp WWE just for the money, and does he actually know a single thing about it?
Wait, it was good. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Wait, Dave,
No,
you do
everything
not
about
like...
Seth Green screams wrestling fan. Right.
Ask him, does he prefer Robot Chicken or Family Guy?
Robot Chicken because he has more career control.
Well, yeah, he's like the guy behind
But
that.
yeah, ask him
so-
anyway. Just ask him anyway. Just say an idiot on my podcast asked me.
Look,
Yeah, but
his
Dave-
genuine response would be, I like Robot Chicken because I'm the Seth in charge.
But David,
He is,
do you not like Cap WWE?
I gave up on it very quickly, to be honest. So it might have got better. Look, when it came to WWE trying to turn it into a cartoon series, it didn't really work because then you're trying to take their wrestling personas and put them into different scenarios where it didn't really work.
Did
Like
work
in
in
theory,
Scooby-Doo.
it should really work. In theory, it should. Like if they did it and it was maybe it was like Scooby-Doo, but if they did something like that, where it was just like these characters are all just a family living in a house, and you're like, this is the weirdest thing they've ever done. Like, but I just remember that it got like scenes where Ric Flair was like flashing people and going like, "Woo!"
So you're mixing up two things. Two
Am
different
I?
shows. You're mixing up two different shows.
What was
They
that
were both
show? then?
animated. The other one was where they were retelling stories from the past
Oh,
in
okay.
animated form. And
But hang on, I'm sure Ric Flair still got his dong out in everything.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Playing Life for Health in 1999. Claiming that was like all the fights and stuff and all the drinking. He was busy flashing everyone.
Yeah. Well, anyway, moving on. Oh, okay, go on, Cam.
There was a new possibility casting announcement. The guy from Yellowstone being considered as Batman. And I've not seen the episode of it, but I've seen the clip of it, and he looks good to be Batman. I think he'll be good Batman.
Guy from Yellowstone, that narrows it down.
Okay,
Spencer,
so
Spencer, the character called Spencer.
Yellowstone franchise. Oh, I'm trying to find it as a news story. Maybe like if this is the guy, yeah, he looks like he could be a Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. He looks like an American. Who's the Aaron Taylor Johnson? Looks like an American Aaron Taylor Johnson. The other person that died.
He's also really tall, and also
He's pretty.
No, he's tall and he's built like a tank. He's good to be Batman.
Okay.
Yeah. So, if that's a qualification, may I introduce you to John Reacher?
Who?
Who?
John Reacher.
Yeah, Alan Richardson's also a good build, but the
Yeah,
problem
Aaron
with
Richardson,
yeah,
who has been Aquaman and Hawk. So Batman's the next step.
yeah, but the main issue I have with him, Dev, is that I don't see his voice being Bruce Wayne. It just doesn't have that gravitas of Batman.
So he and Henry Cavill made a movie together called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
yeah, and in that he talks like this. Yeah, he talks like this.
And he makes Henry Cavill look like a midget. It's amazing. He's that huge, like he's like a tank.
Yeah, he's big. But is he bigger than Spencer actor?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I know there's different schools of thought on this. Should Bruce Wayne be a tank?
Yeah.
No.
It's like
No, only for returns.
wonder-
Only for
Yeah,
How
returns.
would that be? The
Vigilante
CEO is
is.
coming in. Boom.
hang on, right? It's like I wonder who this masked vigilante that has all this high tech equipment. Who could afford that and has that build and body shape?
Oh, I don't
Bruce,
know.
do you have any ideas?
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah, but David, if you're gonna make a dude who's gonna end up fighting crime hand to hand, it's gonna be someone, at least a UFC heavyweight.
Christian Bale.
Look, Michael Keaton is a comedy actor. People hated the idea of him being cast because he was
Yeah,
a comedy
but
actor.
Yeah, but in the suit, David, he looked a lot taller than all the
Christian
enemies he
Bale
fought.
is tiny,
Christian Bale is 6'1".
but he's skinny, not like a tank.
Did
There's no
you
difference.
Did you see Batman Begins? Although his suit is a lot tinier, I agree with that one. But with a lot of the problem I had with Robert Pattinson Batman, he's my size.
Okay, look, hang on. Listening to Christian Bale. Christian Bale is whatever size he wants to be for whatever
Yeah.
role.
And
He's
in
an
that bulky
absolute
one is Batman.
maniac.
The bulky one is Batman. That's from the shot from Batman Begins.
That's from Dick. That's Dick
Yeah,
Cheney, not Batman.
No, that's Batman. That's from Batman Begins.
Yeah, guy's absolutely crazy with that stuff. Like, he doesn't need to do it. Like, that is insane. That is insane. And that is insane.
You know the funny thing? When they got Tom Hardy to play as Bane, who was a lot shorter than Christian Bale, they had to stuff him up in boots to make him look intimidating. Otherwise, Christian Bale dwarfs Tom Hardy.
I would say that. Like, going on this point, like saying, Batman has to look a certain way. I think Marty might have brought this point up, I think, a couple of years ago. He said that casting a Batman is easy, but casting a Bruce Wayne is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Like casting a Batman, would be easy. You got to have a dark and brooding character. But then you got Bruce, which is the mask, which is more charismatic. He's more charming. Is that harder?
I think you come up with a really good point, and I think even though I'm going to go straight to Superman, when you look at Brandon Routh, everyone's like, "Yeah, he's fantastic as Clark Kent," but was he the best Superman? When you look at Henry Cavill,
a better script. He needs more action scenes. That's all he needed.
No,
when you look at hang on, 2-point, right? When you look at Henry Cavill, absolutely Superman. His Clark Kent, and again, it might be the script, but it's like, trying to get someone that has the ability to be Bruce Wayne and Batman, Clark Kent and Superman, any superhero that has a dual personality in a sense of they live two lives. That's a massive challenge, Dev.
So I don't know if you've seen for Crisis on Infinite Earths on the CW, they brought back Brandon Routh as Superman, and in that he got a good script. He was a good Superman, and he did it perfectly. He did Kingdom Come Superman basically.
He was also a lot older, which it meant that he was perhaps too young, and it didn't have the gravitas, the maturity to play. Because again, coming back to what I said about this god awful James Gunn debacle that they've put out recently, Superman is someone that when they're there, you as an audience member, you need to feel like this is a guy that's going to be calm and be able to handle it and be brave and kind and everything like this. And in Crisis on Infinite Earth, he's just got that presence that he didn't have when he was younger.
Yeah, but David, did you remember the scene in Superman Returns where the bullet literally goes to his eye and he just doesn't unflinch and stays there?
That's great.
Yeah.
That was great.
So that's the problem. The problem is we didn't see Superman doing a lot of Superman things with Brandon Routh. We only got very few clue shots of it. If they focused on it a lot more, I think Brandon Routh could have been one of the greatest Supermans. Like, he would be on the second level to Christopher Reeves. But the problem is the script didn't really allow for it.
Yeah, I think that you do have a point, Dev.
With Brandon Routh, again, bringing up the wrestling comparison, would you say in Returns, it was the 2016 Roman Reigns, and in Crisis, it was 2020 Tribal Chief Roman Reigns?
Wait, what? Hang on, what?
Compared to wrestling, would you say Superman Returns, Brandon Routh was 2016 Roman Reigns, and Crisis was the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns?
I think I get what you're going for, but I wouldn't really say I wouldn't say either. Just to very quickly bore Dave, with Roman Reigns, what you basically had with Roman Reigns is when they tried to shove him down the audience's throat and the audiences rejected him, and then when they basically let him do his own thing and find his way into a lot more brooding and you hear it so many times with wrestling, with acting, with improv, with all this stuff. Take your time, let things breathe. And that's what Roman Reigns did. He just played himself. He allowed things to breathe, and it adds more weight to things. But what you got before wasn't just that he didn't have that, is that they were scripting him and he'd got stupid stuff.
Now, I would say, David, again, this is more Slam Jam than Geek. The thing with Roman is that he was not a good face. like he wasn't meant to be like, oh, the next John Cena. The whole aura around him, he was like the best bad guy that was come to WWE. Don't fall asleep. That just faded into the background. But what they brilliantly did is they paired him up with Paul Heyman.
Oh shit!
And that's where they actually thought, oh, you should say less and be intimidating while we do all the talking.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, good. Right, so
Sorry, I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
yeah, so am I.
Ugh.
Die with your sunglasses.
Right, I've lost my actual glasses. Now, something I've seen this week, guys, is the movie Weapons.
Oh, is it any good?
Oh my god, it's one of the best films I've seen this year. Now, the thing is about it is, if you see the trailer, if you haven't seen the trailer, I'll only tell you things that are in the trailer. But the concept is, they say it's a horror. I don't think it's the biggest horror. It has bits that literally, as I was in the cinema, I jumped back like this, holding my leg up in my face, like, to keep things away from me, just because it's got a couple of jump scares, and it made me jump. But it's more of a mystery film, which I really love. Right, okay, good for you, Dev. Right, okay. Good for you. Now, the trailer says that there are some kids. They all walked out of their house at 2:17 in the morning, and they were never seen again. And when you start watching the film, this is no real spoiler, they establish that within the first couple of minutes. The trailer that you watch doesn't give you any hint about what's going on afterwards. But my God, I'd say it is worth seeing. It is the way the film is presented it's not completely unique, because there are things I can compare it to, but they do stuff with it which you don't see often, and it's really, really good. In it is Josh Brolin. It's Wong from Doctor Strange, and well, screw you guys. If everyone's leaving, Dave, let's go as well.
All right.
Fine.
Hang on. I need to get him. Wait a sec. Where is it? No, that's not it.
Right. Okay. So anyway, look, I can do funky shit too. Right. What have I got? What do I have? Do I have anything? Do I have anything? Virtual background. What can I do? There we go. We haven't seen Thor. We haven't seen Thor in a while. Take over with this.
Well, yeah, I was going on your point there, David. Because obviously I get different trailers here, because I got it in French. I saw the trailer for Weapons in French, and obviously it's a different title here, because they changed it to Vanish, Ebanu. And when I saw it, I thought, okay, this is a bit weird. I knew nothing about it, and it wasn't until I've seen like a proper trailer, like the actual English trailer, and it said Weapons on it. I thought, wow, this looks pretty good. Like, is it a horror movie that I want to see though?
Yeah, I think it's really, really worth seeing. I think it will be a horror film that people go on about for a long time. I think it's a really good beginning of, they could do more with the whole concept and everything from it.
Yeah.
Dev.
There's a bunch of Resident Evil news that came out recently. Well, 2 are a rumor, and 1 is basically confirmed. There's a new movie coming out, being directed by someone.
It's me, right?
He made a good. No, the guy who made Weapons.
The guy who made Weapons.
No, the Weapons director, Zach Prager, is saying he's going to make a Resident Evil.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. They're shooting it right now. Let's get on into this. Now, apparently, he has said that he hasn't seen any of the previous films, which is a good thing. But he is really into the games.
No, he has also stated, David, that he's not going to follow anything of the games.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I
shared this news on Geek Chat when it came out. I was like, he said he's not going to continue any of the character story. He's going to do a standalone story. And then literally
Good.
says, then it's Resident Evil.
Good.
Why do they? Why?
There's a reason. Because so I actually listened to a thing the other day about why Leon isn't the protagonist in Resident Evil 9.
Not anyone, Dave. Not anyone. Not just Leon.
Yeah, I mean, this is specifically to Leon Kennedy, specifically to him. The creator of Resident Evil, he came out and he said that Leon wouldn't be scared of something like a bucket falling off a roof because he's too hardened at this point. So putting a new character in this scenario is actually better because we're experiencing it with them. You wouldn't enjoy it as much if it's just Leon just walking around, not being scared of anything.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dave, like anything with like adaptation and things like that, the reason why we watch adaptation, we want to see the favorite characters that we saw in a game or in a book be in a movie. One of the reasons that's why when we see superhero movies, when we see Batman the movie, we want Batman. We don't want to say, oh, Batman, we already know everything about him. We saw him punching everybody, so what's the point of let's get this new character and let him see how he reacts in the Batman world. Cool idea, but that's not an adaptation.
Right, but the concept that you put there, using Batman as the example, is that Batman faces new challenges every time. He faces a challenge, he goes away, thinks about it, then comes back for round 2. With Leon, in a horror movie scenario, you're going through a horror movie with the characters that you're watching. So having a character that's hardened, to the world that they're in, is boring.
No, you just put a young Leon. Batman Begins. The new Batman, the new start. Leon, the new start. Chris Redfield, the new start.
Okay. Well, in fact, Joe, what I would say here, so the reason why Leon could have been a character in Resident Evil 9 is because it's set in more modern times. It's like, well, he's not 22 anymore. He's 45 and he's not. Now you can tell the story that I've been fighting these demons for so long. You know, my nerves are shot. And now you can make him vulnerable again.
It's old man Leon. it's like old man Logan, but it's Leon.
Yeah, just tell it. But hang on a second. Let me take a pause here. Tim!
Hi, guys.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm good. I did a couple of phone calls to make, but I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having this, David.
No,
you look
good
like
to have
you're
you.
arriving as an angel from heaven with your white t-shirt. I'm here to deliver you all.
The sunlight's beaming in from this window, so hold on. Let me.
He's literally glowing.
The ratings are flying high.
Whoa.
Tim, put it away. It's too much power.
Yeah.
We're suddenly got demonetized.
Now, the most important question, Tim. Have you seen Weapons?
No, but I live in the United States. So
you see them left, you see them right. Yeah, there you
Sorry
go.
for those who are trying to make themselves better at schools. No, that's a really bad joke.
Oh my god, we've gone that direction twice this episode now. Right, okay.
It's a stereotype. It is bad one. We need to work on it.
But okay, so I saw the film Weapons. It's really good. But we were just saying that apparently the director of it will be directing a reboot, a standalone story based on the Resident Evil franchise. But apparently it's not going to connect at all to any of the characters, which is what they do over and over again. With so many franchises, they can never just make things based on what made the property successful for why they wanted the rights to it in the first place. Because look at everything. Cap, I know you'll say straight away stuff like The Witcher. Look at what they did with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Look what they did with the He-Man movie. And now they're doing a new He-Man movie where it's set on Earth again. Sonic the Hedgehog, it has to be set on Earth. You can't do anything that's just a straight adaptation for the fans that actually liked it the way it was originally made.
I think that's why you have people who are fans of the franchise. Like, I just listened to a video essay on Starship Troopers and Paul Verhoeven, who he did a good job satirizing fascism and like military science fiction, but he admitted to only reading the first 30 or 40 pages of Starship Troopers of the book. And the essay kind of explains that both of these different creative pieces have different like creative narratives. You need a fan. You need a fan of it. Otherwise, you have Halo.
Yes, and that's another example. Dev.
I don't know who this person is, but since you've seen Weapons, you probably know. The actor who plays James just got announced for Resident Evil as well.
Who plays James? From what?
Yeah, in Weapons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just got announced for Resident Evil right now, like
Okay,
a
I'm
few
going
hours
to look
ago.
up who the actor is because James. I won't say about who his character was, but I don't know who he would be playing. Well, no, obviously, apparently, no one. But
Yeah. It's not going to be Chris.
Austin Abrams.
Nah, let me.
okay, so let's
Ethan,
fan
best
cast.
protagonist.
Who would we cast this guy as?
Ethan.
Ethan.
Only because we never saw Ethan's face.
Exactly.
Although if you go Google images, there's more pictures where he looks like Chris a bit. He looks like young Chris.
Ugh.
Oh god, we're having a young Rambo, and now we're going to have a young Chris Redfield.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to have like Rambo and Chris Redfield in the same school now.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question then. Let's see if we can figure this one out. What is something like where there's been like a franchise, like how we've given examples where, they've deviated away from the source material? What is the one where it has most deviated, where it is like almost unrecognizable to what it's based on? Like Super Mario Brothers from 1990s has to be a contender, but I'm sure there are things that are less like the source material than that.
Is it strictly for movies?
I would.
No. Like if there's like whatever you've got, go for it. Not a video game because.
I would say one of the things that really deviated from the source material, but it turns out to be a great movie anyways, was Disney's Hercules. It's nothing like the Hercules myth. It completely ignored it.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. It's not based on a franchise. It's based on myths. It's based on religion.
It has the source material.
Are you suggesting that the Greek gods are just there franchising themselves?
Yeah, exactly. You show me the original first edition of the Hercules story, and then we can find out if it was
there's just some guy in ancient Greece just chiseling a picture of Hercules. It's not like a comic book, like first comic.
There has to be a first edition. There has to be a first edition as a book format.
Well, it's like then you could get like Zeus or whoever that in like Thor 4, where it's like, like Zeus was never originally like Russell Crowe speaking in a Greek accent, right, Tim?
I'm gonna throw something out there and say Michael Bay's Transformers, kind of.
I mean, they look like them. Did they? And Optimus Prime had the original voice, right?
Yes, there's a lot of originality to it, but like the Michael Bay formula of let's put in an actress who's 18 but looks like they're under that age to get some of the attention put on the movie. That doesn't feel like it's a part of Transformers.
Okay, so let me ask, because I'm not a big Transformers guy. So like obviously in the movie, is suddenly these robot alien things come to Earth.
Yep.
Is that just the same as like Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario or He-Man, where it's like, well, we'll take this thing that's set on another world and just bring them to Earth?
No, because in the original thing, they also came to Earth because they needed help from humans to do something. I can't remember what it was.
To find
the first edition of Hercules.
Well, yeah.
So, like, the Transformers was and the TV show came with it to sell the toys. So every season had to come up with like new versions of these good guys, and they like kind of cycled in bad guys and good guys to sell more toys. But the Michael Bay version of it, in some cases, takes from that creative franchise, but then turns it into something else. Like the first Transformers has the Matrix of Leadership, which is this thing that you hold.
No, the first one is Allspark, Tim. The first one is
Allspark. Yeah. But then by number 5, where what's his face? Mark Wahlberg is in there, and he's like, all of a sudden the Earth is the enemy. To give away a spoiler.
Unicron.
Yeah, Unicron. The Earth is Unicron, and Unicron is the enemy. And it's like, wait, so the humans now they were.
So that happened, Tim. So that happened. So what happened was, so when they did Transformers 1 to 3, right? Afterwards, there was like a bunch of series. There was an animated series called Transformers Prime, which is 3D animated, which is really good. I recommend. Which kind of took the movies approach, but they went a little bit far ahead, and there were like Transformer comics. They touched upon the War of Cybertron. There's Unicron and there's Primus. They had a big comic source material, so they basically carried on from that. Unicron has always been Earth, and Cybertron has always been Primus. And then Michael Bay saw that, and like, I'm gonna do that in the next film without adding any context on what the fuck happened so far. He was like, let me just put Mark Wahlberg in, rush the whole storyline in.
I mean, it's still a good franchise. Like, I love actually like working out to the music that Steve Jablonsky composed, but otherwise, like, some of it just feels a little detached.
My favorites, I would say, from the Transformers is the trilogy is perfect. 1, 2, 3 is just awesome. Everything after Mark Wahlberg showing up, there are some cool moments to it, but other than that, I think narratively they don't have that much weight to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just asked AI for examples of things that most deviated, and it said World War Z, which I know for a fact is just a completely original story. But other than the fact that because you could say The Walking Dead in that they kill characters early. There are characters like most famously, I think Norman Reedus' character, Daryl, isn't in the comics at all, and then he becomes the main character. But that's almost like it's still the same thing, but it's just telling a different branch of the story in a zombie world, right? World War Z, it's like if you got Cloverfield and then said 10 Cloverfield Lane, it's like, well, it's just showing other characters during an alien invasion. It doesn't feel like it's a deviation. It's just a different story. But I don't think it's quite what we're going for in terms of, like, if you look at Super Mario Brothers, where it's like they're Italian plumbers, both movies were like, well, we've got to make them New Yorkers because we can't have these Italian accents for 90 minutes. But then, like, the original one, it's like, well, Bowser should just look like Dennis Hopper. It shouldn't be a dragon. It's just a dude. Right? And they were like, and the Goombas, which are the little brown mushroom things, they need to be 8 foot tall with lizard heads. It's like, yeah, exactly. That, I think, so far is still the thing which is furthest departed from its source material. Dev.
So my friend worked on the documentary for the production of that movie.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so first of all, we had...
No, that's Tim. It was just a white shirt. It was just Captain White.
So first we had... originally, it was supposed to be a stage show. Like, as Super Mario style stage show is like a stage play to make it look like Super Mario 3. Because everything in Super Mario 3 looked like it was a stage show.
Yeah.
With everything bolted on and stuff. And then they wanted to go for a desert and dune style setting for Super Mario Land. And then when everything was built and everything was ready and produced, suddenly they literally saw Blade Runner the day before, and 6 months into production, pivoted into Mario buying Blade Runner.
Wow.
Also, isn't that movie and also that time when they made video game movies, weren't they all part of a weird scam or something like with like adapting game movies? I saw a video about it, like just how to make video games. Like that movie and Street Fighter and all the video games that like came in that era were like weird.
See,
right now.
Again, with the Mario movie, it was executive meddling. The producers were too egotistical. They wanted to make their own movie, and Super Mario, Street Fighter got screwed over by Capcom USA and Japan fighting over it, and then casting Van Damme, which blew the budget, and then they had to spend more budget on more of the budget on cocaine, and then they had to spend more of the budget on stopping Van Damme from having cocaine. They literally hired someone to stop him from.
I mean, I think like Street Fighter, like there's some good calls for it because obviously you took something that didn't really have much of a storyline, and it's like, right, how can these characters all fit into the same world? And then obviously it made Guile the main character because he's an American soldier, and that was
USA wanted it, and
and that would work story wise. They could sell GI Joe toys, you know.
The worst part about that is they were running out of budget while making it. So when they were running out of budget, what they would do is literally rip pages of the script and like we're cutting that. But they would like rip pages out at random, so it looks disjointed and stuff.
Yeah,
because they ran out of budget.
So I've got this one, which I think is quite a good example. I don't know it enough. I've seen the film a few years ago and a long, long time before that, but I haven't read the original book. But this is the example given by AI. It says the one that is the most different. It says The Lawnmower Man by Stephen King. It says in the book, it's a short story, which is a supernatural horror tale about a man and a demonic lawnmower tied to the god Pan. The film is a sci-fi thriller about virtual reality and a man gaining godlike powers, sharing only the title and a vague lawnmower reference. That might do it.
Well, on the Stephen King front, it's like because Stephen King didn't like the Jack Nicholson Shining, so he made a TV series based on everything from the book. And I think we spend like maybe 30 minutes just doing a tour of the hotel. Here's a room here. Here is a room over there. This is the boiler. This is what you need to check. You're like, come on, get to the monsters already.
You know, I didn't mind the TV show, but it was so 90s.
Yeah.
It was so 90s. It was like, we can do CGI now, and they really couldn't. Right? It was unfortunate because you think Stanley Kubrick, the story is that he got Shelley Duvall to do one take 130 times and not tell her what she needs to do different, just that it wasn't right, until she was so emotionally drained it came through on camera. Now, that isn't a healthy way of making a film, but like he could make a movie like that and then the result is on screen. But obviously, Stephen King directing like a 4-part miniseries, or even if it was 2-part, I forget now. It's like trying to do that version wasn't great. But have you guys seen Doctor Sleep, which is the sequel?
Yes,
it's really good. I think it's Jude Law, or is it Ewan McGregor? Ewan McGregor, right. And it's Ewan McGregor playing the kid. Grown up, and this is based on a book, but obviously they spoke to Stephen King and they were like, well, we want this to be a sequel to the original Shining movie, and it absolutely is a sequel to the original Shining movie based on the book, which was written after, which is based on the sequel to his original book, but then they've turned it into a sequel to the original film. But it's really good. I would recommend it if you haven't seen it. Cap.
I have 2 examples. One is Arnold's Conan the Barbarian, which has nothing like really common to the Conan stories. And they made the character dumb, which Conan isn't. One of the best things about Conan is that he's not really like an academic, but he is in a way like one of those philosopher types, the traveling philosopher types. There's an author I remember, I forgot his name.
Cap.
Yeah.
Is Conan the Barbarian another myth?
No, it was the story by Robert E. Howard.
Wait a second. Hang on.
He also chiseled it on rock. Or was it a cave painting at this point?
It's the
fictional character.
1930. He did both.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. And the other example I have, which also had the scorn of the creators when it first came out, but then the paycheck came out and the creators were fine with it. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 90s show. When the show came out, the comic writers hated it. They were like, what did you do with our story? It was meant to be dark and action.
They're like, we made $1 billion with it. That's what we did with it.
Yeah. And when they gave them the check, they were like, okay, we're fine with this.
Yeah.
But the projects that they highly approved, though, the writers of TMNT actually approved, is the 90s movies, which again did not take the childish.
Even 3?
Okay, 3 kind of went dumb, but like 1 is still more relatable to the tone of the comics. And then also the show that came out in 2003, and also the one in 2012, which still, we can't really do the 90s shtick again.
Yeah.
Can't focus on doing that. Yeah.
Okay, Dev.
I just remembered something else. The Witcher.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's like the first one I said that Cap would bring up.
Yeah,
Because-
Dev, before you joined the show and the show was like premiering, I spent every episode ranting about like how the fuck it went wrong.
That dreams of Henry Cavill.
Okay, well, hang on,
That's how that started.
I still have it,
started
guys.
talking about
Boom.
Witcher and
Still there. Still there.
that's how the whole thing started, because like I never mentioned Henry. I talked about The Witcher, and then somehow that became my obsession with Henry Cavill.
Boom.
Hey! You invoked the name.
Hang on, but where's the overlay? How do we get the overlays?
It's
Hang on.
behind. Well, one hand
It's behind everyone.
head.
There we go.
There we go.
It's back. Okay.
Tim, what are you doing to Henry Cavill?
No. Let's leave the mustache there. Let's leave the mustache there. Okay, so yeah, there's some things that really go on, Dave. If you got an example, well, hang on, Dave. Is it just going to be the post Peter Capaldi Doctor Who era that has most deviated? Yeah.
No. So I have 2 examples. So just a little bit of backstory, a little bit. So I am currently doing a hunt for like a movie that's kind of animal based, like an animal horror movie that's not Jaws. And it actually Jaws is you saying about like movies that deviate from the source material. Jaws and Jurassic Park do deviate from the source material. Like the sequels have definitely deviated from the source material. Like with Jurassic Park Rebirth that just came out. Yeah, we've got it's the same thing, dinosaurs on an island thing, but they've really hit into this whole we created these genetic mutation monsters. We InGen created these other things that were scary for the park, and like, well, you seem to be under this assumption that when the park opens, everyone is going to be bored of dinosaurs. But you brought dinosaurs back. What part of that is going to be boring for you? And with Jaws, it was the same thing, because Jaws was only an original book, and even Peter Benchley himself said that if he knew more about sharks, he would not have written Jaws in the first place. But then Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the fucking Revenge deviate, like it's just a shark attacking people. But those movies definitely deviate from the source material in that regard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's books like, so even the Jaws creators really hated that because he felt like he stigmatized sharks a lot, and they don't usually do that in real sharks don't do that. There's also the whole alpha wolf thing. That whole thing started with the biologist writing a book about it, and then he realized, oh my god, I was so fucking wrong. The alpha and the alpha female and the male wolves are literally the oldest wolf in the pack. It has nothing to do with like dominance. It's literally just age. And he spent his whole career trying to alpha wolves, that's not real. Just stop doing that.
Did he say that out loud as he was being disemboweled, or?
No, so the whole trend started with like alpha males and the whole things like that. That was all based off his book. And he was like, oh my god, what have I done? I need to recreate. But it never caught on. It's like,
guys, it wasn't true. It wasn't true. Ah!
Okay, go on, Tim.
There's one thing that I, listening to this, wanted to just talk about was I was watching The Expanse. I really liked the TV show. So I started reading the books. And when I was watching reading the books, I was also listening to the Expanse TV show podcast, where it's one of the writers of the books, and he's also a writer on the TV show. and one of the actors from the TV show. And the writer, Ty Frank, discusses how you have to adapt the creativity for the medium. So like if you look at 24, right? If you look at what an individual episode of 24 or The Expanse, there's always kind of something that gets solved or a problem that gets solved in that 1 hour time frame. But you have the overall problem that occurs. A book isn't limited by that 60-minute range of creativity. So in some cases, the changes in those franchises when they change to a different medium, such as a movie from like a comic book to a movie, it also changes the way you can structure the story.
And also in books, you can do a lot of world building and info dump with the characters in our monologue.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, which you can't really do with the TV adaptation. You have to be subtle. You have to be entertaining because you'll lose the watchers if you talk a 1 hour of like, oh, this is how this created and we do this and that. They were like,
yeah. Like when I'm reading the book Lord of the Rings, I love how Aragorn is described and how different people view him. You know, how you see like his leadership. And then even in Lord of the Rings at the end of the movie doesn't deal with the Shire problem where the bad guys have taken over the Shire. You know, the last 70 to 80 pages of that book are just swept under the rug faster than the Epstein list. But like, sorry, I'm fired up today. I'm fired up today, and I'm and like that's a big thing.
Yeah. Okay, so something that made me think of straight away.
Let me take away that metaphor, though. I think I'm a little fired up, and I apologize.
Right. So what I thought about that, where you say about like characters and stuff, when I thought, oh, what about individual characters? And I don't think there is a character that is more different than their original source material than Deadpool in X-Men Origins.
Yes.
Like absolutely everything. The Merc with a mouth doesn't have a mouth. He's always in a suit. He is absolutely got no suit. It was the most ways they could change the character possible.
But you know what would have been fun? Like if we had the Deadpool movies and then this is like another, like the last sequel that we got, and Wolverine's line made really sense when he said, oh, Stryker finally found a way to shut you up. It makes a lot of sense of all the banter that Deadpool did for the past years. But because it came early, we never got to see Deadpool, the Merc of the Mouth. We were like, how does this make sense?
Well, if they make a sequel to that, and a news story I saw earlier was that Ryan Reynolds has given a hint that Deadpool will be in the next Avengers film, which, to be honest, in the last Deadpool film, they showed him with Thor, so they need to pay that off somewhere. Yeah. But I wouldn't be against, in a future Deadpool movie, that Deadpool, not just like they did that post-credit scene thing on Deadpool 2, they should have this character come back and redeem it. They should have it come back. Imagine if it's just for a joke and Deadpool goes like this and just cuts his mouth open and he's like, oh, thank God for that, guys. And then he can just talk again. And that he's like, I'm not a threat anymore. I just needed help. You know, just something like this.
I think Deb is going to make the same point. Deb, are you going to say about the end credit scenes? Yeah, so in the end credit scenes of Deadpool 2, we get a scene where this Wolverine and Deadpool meets, and the Deadpool time travels and shoot the fuck off.
Well, yeah, that's what I mentioned. So other than that, they should actually bring this character back, because you didn't actually have that Deadpool, that you had him inserted into old footage. They didn't do anything new with the character. Go on, Dave.
I was going to say that you're on the character point. I'd say, like, going back to my point of like Jurassic Park, John Hammond in the book is a definite contrast to how he is in the film. Like in the film, he's the happy, he's like a happy grandpa, and I love Richard Armitage's performance of John Hammond in that. He's a happy grandpa. He's
Richard Armitage.
Is it Richard Armitage?
No.
Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough. Isn't Richard Armitage the guy that played
Yeah,
The dwarf
he was Thorin. But I
Thorin,
knew him,
yeah.
on a side note, I knew him as Guy Gisborne in the Robin Hood series on the Beeb.
There you go. Yeah.
So I met Richard Attenborough. Lovely performance, and like how he actually cares about people. He's still trying to put on a theme park, but he's still, he worries about everybody. He even worries about his grandchildren. But in the book, he doesn't. He is one of those people that is one of the rich assholes in these movies that he cares more about money. And he actually is kind of a dick. Like when his grandchildren are safe, he wanders out, and as his grandchildren are messing around, he says, "God, those damn kids," and he actually gets quite a nasty death by his own creations. And actually, I think there was a thing that Richard Attenborough said that I'm sad that I don't get my death scene.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's come on to if there's any other things. Wednesday season 2 is out. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't know if you guys had. Apparently, Johnny Depp is having conversations about doing Pirates. So either he or Disney have caved, or both of them have, and everyone kisses and makes up eventually, I guess, in Hollywood.
Was it one of those apologies that was like one of those movies? All right, I just want you to say Johnny Depp, I'm sorry. Like under the breath. Sorry.
No, Deb. Disney's apologies usually. Here's $100 million. Okay.
I'm still waiting on my $100 million from Disney as an apology.
Yeah. Don't worry, it'll come to you.
Okay. Jeff.
Regarding Pirates, from what I've heard, they're looking to bring back Depp. I've got his name. Legolas. And Keira Knightley.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom, Keira Knightley, Jeffrey Rush, and they want to add the redhead pirate from the Disney Pirates ride. I forgot her name.
So you forgot whose name?
The lady pirate they added in the Disney Pirates ride.
The lady pirate they added into the Pirates ride.
In Disney Pirates.
I don't know. Let's make up a name for her though.
What
So
are
what
you
was the lady
talking about,
pirate from?
There's a character in Disney Pirates on the Pirates Caribbean ride.
Yeah.
There's like a with red hair.
Oh, are you talking when they're at the
Isn't that Elaine from? That's Elaine from Monkey Island, right? She's got red hair.
Yeah, I know,
No
I know
one
who
played
you're talking
Monkey
about.
Island.
I know who you're talking about for Tales of Monkey Island, but I think, yeah, Deb, it's the one where they're doing like the auction, aren't they? And they're like, oh, how many can I get for this wench? 6 bottles of rum. It's not rum, like the gold I have.
Into a pirate now.
So yeah, look, it's interesting if she's got red hair. Because look, in the Monkey Island video games, which is LucasArts, which is George Lucas company, this was based on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, and they had a character with red hair called Elaine, who's like the second main lead in the series. So it's probably just her. Yeah.
Do you know they actually did a thing with Sea of Thieves with that as well? They actually did a Sea of Thieves 3-part story called Tales of Monkey Island, where you got to meet.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
that. That's cool.
And you got to see. I've forgotten the names of the characters, so I apologise in advance. But yeah, Elaine was there because she was the one who hired your pirate in Sea of Thieves to go to Monkey Island and save the captain, and basically take part in all the little parts of his adventures, like. There was a spray can of like Coke or something that they had to do with, and I'll tell you a little game story related to that. So I was driving the ship that when we were fighting the evil pirate, and I crashed into some rocks. And now my friend who I did that story with, he will never let me forget that. Like you haven't.
So no, go ahead.
Wait, what?
Right, what were you saying?
I'm done.
Okay, so you mentioned Sea of Thieves. Something I'm going to mention about that. I haven't played Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is made by a British company called Rareware, who in the 90s were the best games developer out there. They made Donkey Kong Country, they made GoldenEye, they made Perfect Dark, Killer Instinct, right?
Yes!
Apparently, they are 40 years old this year. And Microsoft bought them in 2002, and they have absolutely ruined them ever since. Now, I don't know if I've ever shown you this before, but to celebrate their 40th year, we should
Golden
watch...
toilet? Oh.
Not the golden toilet. I don't know. What's the golden toilet?
It's for anything Microsoft makes. It's just a pile of crap.
You're close. Tim, you don't know how close you are.
Very
Now,
close, very close.
This is before...
Rare 40, right?
This is before Microsoft bought them.
Yeah.
Like, they used to be almost owned by Nintendo. 49% Nintendo owned them.
Oh, wow.
They did a deal with Microsoft, and so it was all sold. But they had a cartoon character that was going to be in like a platformer game like Mario called Conquer the Squirrel.
Yay!
Oh God! Yes.
Yes!
And they decided that because they themselves made a cartoon bear called Banjo Kazooie with him and a bird, and they were like, "Well, Mario's out, Banjo's out." The team that were behind this, they were like, "This one about the squirrel, it's just going to be lost in the shuffle." So they were like, "Well, what if we give this Conquer Squirrel like a drinking problem, and just make it like South Park?"
Yeah.
And somehow this was a game on the Nintendo 64.
No, this is the best game I've ever played.
Yep.
My brother
Look
has
at
it.
this
I
thing.
played with him.
This is the great mighty Boo.
My brother has it. I play this.
And I can play the audio of it because it's a video game. Can you guys hear it? Can you guys hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is my favorite scene in a video game ever.
I'm so glad you chose this one. This is hysterical.
Just wait for it. Wait for it. Here we go.
I am the great mighty Boo, and I'm going to throw my shit at you. A huge supply of tish comes from my chocolate starfish. Grab some scat, you little twat. Do you really think you'll survive in here? You don't seem to know which creek you're in. Corn is the only thing that makes it through my rear. How do you think I keep this lovely grin? Now I'm really getting I don't like a niggly, tickly, shitty little tag nut. When I've knocked you out with all my bam, I'm going to take your head and ram it up my butt.
Your butt.
My butt.
Your butt.
That's right, my butt. My butt. My butt. Acid Squirrel, look what you've done. I'm blushing. Oh, what a world, what a world. Who would have thought a good little squirrel like you would destroy my beautiful plaginess?
Now that's what I call a bowel movement.
Such an amazing video game.
So good. I love that game.
Like everything about it. Like they've got you meet a giant like sunflower, and she's got a girl's voice and ginormous boobs. And then you meet like a bumblebee who's like really depressed because he wants to pollinate her. And he's like drunk, and you have to help him build up his confidence so he can go and pollinate. And when he goes over to pollinate, literally the camera cuts away, and Conker's like, "Oh, what are they doing?" It's just like, and then there are fire demons that run around, and Conker has to get drunk, and then he pisses on them to put them out. Like everything in that video game was like, how did they get away? This was them saying, "We don't want to do things Nintendo's way anymore," and then Nintendo were like, "We just don't think this is a good fit for us anymore." They went to Microsoft a year later, but unfortunately, Microsoft did absolutely nothing with them.
David, my question is, you could have chosen to show us the sunflower with big boobs. Instead, you chose to show us this instead.
Because
no,
the Mighty
that is
Boo
the best
thing
moment of
is
the whole game.
hysterical, Cap.
It
Like,
is
literally, there are
funny.
so many. That game has so many funny moments in it. Like there's like a my favorite character in it is the Pitchfork. Who goes, "Hey, damn it, I've got to kill the little
Oh my
squirrel."
god! Yeah. So you ride around on a pitchfork, and you're fighting a giant bale of hay. Oh shit! All right, you're fighting a giant bale of hay, and when it gets set on fire, you suddenly see a robot version emerge out of flames, and it's like the Terminator, and it's got red vision, and it sees you, and for some reason it goes, "Buff you asshole," and it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice. Like, you saw the character there. He's not normally dressed like that, but that's obviously they've completed it or something. They've got him so he's dressed like the scene based on the Matrix. They've got teddy bears that run and attack you, and they do a recreation of the beach landing scene from Saving Private Ryan. Like, the amount of ideas in that video game are insane.
I used to play multiplayer with my brother.
I would argue that anyone that hasn't played it, please go and play Conker. It is very funny. If you like that sort of dark humor,
the funniest video game.
It's like
on PC.
Like the concept of the whole story is so outlandishly stupid, and it's like nothing else makes sense except that that's the main plot point, and they don't draw attention to it whatsoever. It's like everything else goes on around you. And there's just this one plot point.
Okay, hang on. So, guys, to show you the comparison, this is what the game originally looks like. So, hang on 1 second. Let's see if this is a trailer. So this is... Oh, that's just like an intro. So this is the gameplay. I'll mute it just in case weird stuff comes up. It's an advert. So when they first showed it, it looks like Paw Patrol. And then it was like delayed. Like in 1997, I was asking for it for Christmas, and then it's like, oh, it didn't come out. What? It's been delayed, and it got delayed like 2 or 3 years. And when they showed it again, they were at the game show where they were showing it off. They were handing out like Conker branded condoms just to like be like. So everyone was like, wait, what? What happened to this thing? Because like originally, let's see if I can unmute it. In fact, you've got like giggling, and it's all like cutesy. And it's like a storybook.
Yeah, this was
sweet.
Do you think this was just a troll, just to fuck with everybody?
No, this is because they made this, and then the team that made the game Banjo-Kazooie managed to beat them to the release date. So after Banjo came out, they were like, well, this is just the same thing again. You've got a squirrel running around collecting nuts, because there was a Game Boy Color game called Conker's Pocket Tales, which is the original storyline. So if I put in Conker Beryl, I'll show you the difference of how they changed his girlfriend. Beryl Pocket Tales.
Oh,
so
boy.
Conker's Pocket Tales. I'll show you what Beryl looks like. So you'll see here. Hang on, let me bring up the comparison first of all. So Beryl. In fact, as soon as I put that in, it'll come up with the more modern version. So she was the same size as Conker. She'd got brown hair, and you had to rescue her, and from an evil acorn. So that was the bad guy, an evil acorn, and you had to rescue Beryl from this. And then they changed Beryl into. Oh, hang on, it might be a bit un-PG. I need to make sure this is safe.
Is she Lola Bunny now?
She looked like she looked like Lola Bunny. Conker. Have I misspelled Beryl?
What year did Conker come out?
I think 2001 in the UK. Okay, so yeah, this is what they changed her to look like. She was suddenly much taller than him. She's got like the legs out and the boobs. Yeah. And so they completely changed it. And okay, this is a spoiler. This is a spoiler, and we can come off of this in a second. On the game they actually released, the main bad guy was the Panther King. And you see, and the reason the whole story of the game that came out was that he's got a glass of milk that a minion brings to him. And when he places it on the table, the leg is broken on the table, and he can't drink his milk because the table keeps falling over. And so his scientist decides that the only thing to fix this table leg is the exact height of a squirrel. So that's why he wants Conker to be kidnapped so that he can become this table leg. And throughout the whole game, you see these teasers of, he's like, I am the Panther King. And when you get to him, a xenomorph bursts out of his chest. You never fight the Panther King, and you just have to fight a xenomorph in Conker, in the walker, going, "Get away from her, you bitch," like this. And almost, other than the Great Mighty Pooh and Beryl, every voice in the game is done by one guy. It is the wildest video game ever.
Definitely. I love that side. That the scientist does make me laugh. It's like because like the little spoiler, because when he comes in, you see him with like his arm is robotic, and then the Panther King is like, "Oh, don't fail me this time. I don't want to get the duct tape out again." Like, "Oh no, I don't want you to get the duct tape out again. Don't get the duct tape out again, King."
Yeah. Okay. So the one thing that's a major shame.
Gentlemanly Warfare.
They did do a remake of it on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
And the guys that made it said afterwards, we should have just done a sequel. It's like, we could have done a sequel, but we were like, oh, if people didn't play it on the N64, we don't want this all to be for nothing. So they did a remake. I'll show you a clip of the remake, just so you can see. Because, Cap, you said, is it on PC? You can probably play it somehow.
Yeah.
Because it's such an old game. It's N64 and original Xbox.
It's called Conker's Bad Fur Day, right?
Yep.
Conker Bad Fur Day, but then the remake was called Conker Live and Reloaded. But unfortunately, it is more censored. So it's because you go against.
Oh, it is Lola Bunny. That one looks like Lola Bunny a lot, actually.
So the Panther King.
Oh, there we go. There he is.
So it's like finally the final boss. It's the biggest swerve in gaming.
It's this guy. Barry, do you know who he is? He got me.
It's like a Star Wars reference there as well.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Red Squirrel. Oh,
I might skip this on because it'll go on a while.
Yeah.
recognize this guy.
There's a song.
Yeah, just about here. Where you are there.
Here?
Yeah, about there. That's where it starts.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Yeah, here it comes.
And here it comes.
And they're like the weasels from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Since this squirrel got rid of my TV.
Guys got to rid of my tennis,
Dave, narrate for us. I can't hear anything.
Oh, you want me to do the voice?
Yes.
Can you not hear it, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, it's too low.
Let us kill 2 birds with one stone.
I don't think I can do any more.
That's hilarious.
How did they get away with this?
Parody? The power of parody?
Parody, yeah.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Such a beautiful. Even though he is about to annihilate your scroll, limb from limb, you cannot help but admire his power, his poise.
This is like an absolute Looney Tune fever dream.
Right there.
It's basically just Looney Tunes going absolute wankers.
Right, let's skip it on. Like, how does this come about? So this is where you get to play, and you just go into this room, and it's literally just the ending of Alien.
Yeah.
Or Aliens, I always forget. Both of them, basically.
It's just a parody of pretty much every movie.
Cesaro swing! Oh, it came back.
But anyway, I'll take this off now. I'll take it off now.
I'd
That
say
won't be the thing.
the funniest thing is...
And then, okay, this is a massive spoiler again. The game has a really dark ending. Beryl dies.
Alcohol poisoning?
No, I think she just got killed by the alien or the panther or whatever.
So what am I going to do with my millions? I'm going to go get drunk.
Well, on that note, I have to get going, guys. But
Right, yeah. Now that we've just sat and watched a video game for half an hour. Right, guys, we can begin to wrap this up, in fact. But Tim, where can the people find you?
Instagram, and just taking a break right now from anything digital as much as I thought I was. But I do recommend listening to the What Went Wrong podcast. I've learned a lot about like movies and how creativity is sort of structured in Hollywood and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But thanks for that, Dave.
Awesome, Tim. Guys, just very quickly, was there anything we missed? Just before I wrap it completely.
I gotta get going, guys. Bye.
Take care, Tim.
Yeah.
Dev.
The sequel to Freaky Friday came out this week. Yeah, it's a nice follow-up where they expanded on the concept. Now it's 4 people swapping places instead of 2.
Wow. I can't wait for the next
granddaughter,
one.
her best friend, and the mother.
Is it Freaky Friday, the movie there's like a next door vampire moves in?
No.
What's that? Isn't that Fright Night or something? I think that's Fright Night, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. Good for Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. Still going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was killed by Michael Myers.
Yeah, she got better.
She's been killed by Michael Myers once. She came back. Okay.
And they announced new people for new casting for the new One Piece season, and they've announced it's renewed for season 3.
Dude, that picture, Dev. I mean, like, I would say One Piece is so good. I would say, even though I didn't watch the show, like, and appearance-wise, they nailed the character so much. I really like that picture.
The casting is amazing for every character.
Yeah. If every adaptation fucking did this thing, I think everything will be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one other thing I noticed here. Apparently, Universal have bought the rights to Jason Bourne in perpetuity. So that's so weird. Like, he must have got whoever originally created that character must have got some massive deal or some rights to royalties forever. Because just giving away your rights forever means an adaptation in 5, 10, or 50 years will all be done at Universal.
I always found Jason Bourne as the poor man James Bond. I never really got into it because, like, I think it was good. Like, it did have an early 2000s one, but the problem is, I think, again, James Bond was still a thing at that time, and there was also better agent/action movies came out, and that movie just.
I'll tell you what, Cap. If the Daniel Craig James Bond films wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies, they're a bit more modern, but they're still the cheesy James Bond. Helicopter, dive out a helicopter and jet ski down onto something and land on a crocodile.
Billy.
And then by the last Pierce Brosnan one, they were like, we're trying to make things a bit grittier, and that's why you saw him with like a beard and get arrested. But then the Bourne Identity came out, and especially by the time they got to the Bourne Ultimatum, they were like, this is a better James Bond movie than James Bond. And then the James Bond guys were like, right, we need gritty Bond, realistic Bond. And we're going to have like him running across buildings and getting like crashing, and he's actually going to get injured, and it's going to up the stakes. And that wouldn't have happened if Jason Bourne hadn't done it first.
I didn't know.
But yeah, so Bond got good in its modern iteration because of Bourne. But go on, Dev.
The really good thing that came out of Bourne Identity for me was the joke in Jay and Silent Bob reboot, where Matt Damon shows up as Loki and says, for the past 20 years, I've been living half my life as Jason Bourne, and the other half is Matt Damon. That's why they cast Matt Damon as Jason Bourne.
Okay, well, there you go. I like it. That is a good joke.
I do have to bring this final point. Like, in sort of when we started the open discussion about adaptations, right? The Mummy, even the black and white movies and such, wasn't really faithful to the Mummy source material stories, which was also a publication, David, just that came out of the year of 1920.
Whoa.
Sounds like ancient Egypt to me. You know.
Right, hang on. I think we should be amazed at the fact that Cap actually.
Wait a minute.
I think we should be more amazed that Cap watched a movie that was black and white.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually did not, but I did
Captain
see it.
America.
Well, then how can you compare it if you haven't seen
Cap
it?
saw TikTok once.
I saw an adaptation video where they compare.
Cap saw TikTok once, and
I have been in the British Museum. There is a mummy there. That isn't a movie prop.
Yeah, but there's also one in Dorchester. We have a mummy in Dorset.
Well, there you go.
But I'd say like the most absolute bonkers thing with like Miami adaptation is the 90s one with Brendan Fraser and stuff. But again, it was awesome. So I have no problems with it.
Yeah.
Shout
Okay,
out, guys. We're not part of the Gen Z. It's B-movie and Brendan Fraser.
Let's wrap things up here. So, guys, thank you very much for tonight. Let's find out where we can find everyone, and if you have any geeky recommendations, Dev.
you can find me on TikTok and Twitch on the name FWDAT. And my geeky recommendation is soon there will be a adaptation of.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. My geeky recommendation is literally, God, the gangster, the devil, and the
Wardrobe.
No, the gangster.
What is this? The gangster, the devil, and the wardrobe. That is the movie I want to see.
What's the name?
The gangster. It's where they go to Narnia. It's the gangster, the devil, and the wardrobe.
Just Aslan in a mob on turns up to go, all right, you are the children, best of the children. I got enough and you can't refuse.
You come to me. Oh my
Just
God,
send
wedding.
someone's head in a box or something.
Yeah.
No. It's like a crossover between Godfather and Lion King, where you go to Simba during Hira and Kovu's wedding.
Okay, cool. So, Deb, what was it you were actually trying to say, or did we hit the nail on the head?
No. I can't remember the goddamn name now. The gangster, the devil, and something else.
The cop, the gangster, the cop, and the devil. It's a Korean film, right, Dev?
Yeah, the Korean film.
Okay. I know about that.
I'm sorry, I'm crying.
Okay. 1 second. Let's see if AI can come up with this movie poster.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I don't normally laugh at my own jokes, but that was kind of funny.
The gangster goes to the Narnia. Hey,
Wait a second. I just asked it to make up a movie poster, and it's failed. But I asked for the gangster, the devil, and the wardrobe. And isn't that Levi Schreiber who played Sabretooth in X-Men Origin?
What it is?
Why did it cast him in this? Wow.
So Ron Gilman as the devil, which is ironic because he's Mephisto.
Ooh. Okay, so hang on. Let's try again. Right, make a poster for the gangster movie in the style of the Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe movie poster.
But
Let's see, can we do
isn't there a movie Starlight or something like that which has Russell Crowe as a gangster and Will Smith as a devil, and then some sort of storyline is with like a girl and an angel or something like that?
What is that, Starlight?
Yeah, I think Starlight or something. It has Will Smith playing the devil, Russell Crowe a gangster, and the guy from Penguin playing the hero, who's blessed by an angel or something like that. I forgot that movie. What's the name of that movie? Let me see.
Don't know.
Winter's Tale.
Sorry?
Okay, let's have a look.
Winter's Tale.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not called Starlight.
Yeah, Starlight's the other one, right? With Robert De Niro and
what's her face?
I don't know.
Claire Dane, wasn't it?
Claire Danes, yeah. Okay, I want to see what Copilot comes up with. Copilot is such a slow piece of crap nowadays.
Oh god, no!
Just like, okay, so Grok has achieved, and we do have one poster. I don't think it's a good enough thing, and it's got the name. They've come up with its own name, the Devil's Wardrobe. So yeah, that would be interesting. And then it's given us this.
Okay, there's a gangster. There's devils. Where's the
And there's a
cop?
wardrobe. What more do we want? Oh, hang on. Copilot is going to come through for us. This looks like a movie poster. It's just so slow.
The gangster, the devil, and the wardrobe. That lovely children's classic.
Yeah. God, I forgot how slow this was nowadays. Right, Cap, give us your recommendation and we'll come back to this if it works.
Oh my god, I just saw the picture that Dev sent Will Smith as the devil. Oh my god, that's scary. You can find me on Swat Beats. When I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket and work with puppets. There's a new sketch, which is the unseen outtakes and bloopers of the first Lion King movie. Go check that sketch out. And my recommendation, well, I've been watching nothing but anime. I recommended this last time, so I'm going to recommend it to you again. I watch Bungo Stray Dogs. David. You.
Which one?
Which one?
There's two of them.
More than one.
The Pastansky one. The Pastansky one.
Oh, I thought we were friends, Cap.
No,
right.
you would.
No. It's too late now.
Okay, Dave.
You can find me here on Extreme and Geek Battle on various shows. Check out my YouTube channel, Dave MC Gaming, and also on Twitch, where I do live streams of various adventures that I have out there. Go check out my recent Resident Evil 0 Let's Play, which is called More Bugs, because Capcom loves to throw bugs at me. And also check out my Discord and my gaming merch shop as well.
Isn't that Parasite Eve?
Maybe.
Oh, I can't get into
know.
that game. It's a Resident Evil style game made by the Final Fantasy people.
All I know is that Capcom loves to throw bugs at me, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Okay, so my name is David Pastansky. You find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pastansky. Guys, my recommendation is go see Weapons, but my true recommendation is go and see The Gangster, The Devil, and The Wardrobe. That is awesome.
Oh,
that looks like a movie I would go and see. That poor kid.
Came through.
Why is Dwayne Johnson the devil?
Well, because he is. You saw Black Adam, right? Right, but
Yep.
but other than that,
cool. That's fucking cool.
That is cool. You can imagine that, like, this kid witnessed something. The gangsters run after her. She goes and falls into the wardrobe, and so does the gangster. And at first, he's like, "I'm going to get you, kid." But then suddenly, the devil turns up, and now the kid and the gangster have to work together to defeat the devil.
Well, so instead of like in the terms of the book, like Lucy, instead of meeting Mr. Tumnus, instead of seeing a fawn, we actually see the devil appear.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm the devil. And what are you doing here, little girl?
No. I want the gangster to be named Mr. Tumnus, and he meets Lucy Fur.
Lucy Fur. I like it.
Where the gangster,
guys.
after being chased by the cop, runs into this house and goes inside the girl's wardrobe, and he meets the girl.
Right, well, anyway, on that note, until next time, guys, stay safe, always stay extreme, live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Nanu, nanu, and we're off the